Here in the arid Southwest, wildfire has always been a natural part of these ecosystems. Fire's been something that we've lived with and tried to control in the past, and now we're dealing with the consequences of becoming too good at controlling it.
It's not just fire season anymore, it's always fire season here. My name is Pam Ryan, and I live here in La Barbera Canyon. The job that we have as residents in a WUI community is how can we make our properties resilient to fire. In terms of mitigation around the home, it's ongoing, and every home has needles that are going to fall every season or leaves that will drop. So that is an ongoing task around the perimeters of our home. While mitigation plays a huge part in reducing fuels and really putting out the welcome mat for the firefighters, another step is to actually contact the fire department, give them your information so that you're in that chain of communication.
And what really got me into this role is fire itself and trying to understand fire and give people knowledge about how people can live with fire. My name is Porfirio Chavarria. I'm the Wildland Urban Interface Specialist for the City of Santa Fe Fire Department. Fire departments across the West are preparing for wildland fires. What I'm going to try and help you do is get ready and have a plan so that in that moment of panic or of short notice of I need to leave, making sure I have things prepared, ready to go. And then figuring out I'm all signed up for my notification system. It says to go down this route, having those things in mind, knowing here's what the department is planning and then here's my piece of the plan that fits into that.
We've had to look a little bit bigger and zoom out at the landscape scale and talk about where are the areas where we need to do this work most urgently, and then how can we do it in a way where we address the ecological needs, the economic needs, and those social and cultural needs. I'm J.R. Logan. I'm the Taos County WUI coordinator. That's the place where the trees meet the houses and the buildings. And my job here in Taos County is to do what we can to reduce the risk of wildfire affecting life and property, but also to protect the mountains and protect the quality of the water, protect the access to the water, and protect, all the things that the forest provides for this community and for the environment. The county role that I have is a great bridge between the local folks and a lot of the traditional knowledge that we have and the agencies that are tasked with managing more than half of this county. Nearly all of our forests and watersheds are managed by the Forest Service, the Bureau of Land Management. These agencies and the people who work for them really want to do right by these communities. But without interaction with residents and with local fire departments and with local businesses, those agencies don't really have a clear roadmap on what the needs of a community are. And so by sitting in between local residents, local businesses, and federal land managers, we try to facilitate that conversation in a way that it's productive. Terms like fire adapted are really important because we are not trying to snuff out every wildfire or stop wildfire from happening. We're trying to, as best we can, make it possible to reintroduce wildfire as a process in the way that it's meant to exist in these ecosystems and not create the sort of chaos and havoc that we've seen in these other kinds of fires.
Fire doesn't really see boundaries. It happens where it happens, and we end up having to deal with it when it comes along. My name is Daniel Denepa. I am the Forestry Director here at Santa Clara Pueblo. I've been working here for about 17 years. It's just a passion of mine as well. Working here for a long time. This is a very beautiful place. The culture here is very rich, and that's what keeps us going. We take a good look at our CWPP, which is the Community Wildfire Protection Plan, and as long as we have that plan in place, we're able to put something together. We need to continue this work. It's very important to educate the future so they can keep that role going.
My name is Michael Chavarria, and I serve as the governor for Santa Clara Pueblo. Growing up in Santa Clara Pueblo, my father always led me to the mountains. And so having that connection and knowing and growing up in your respective community is critical of how fire can harm you. But if you work with it, it can also be a benefit. So that's very important to understand of how these collaborative efforts come into play across the landscape, because that's very critical. You can't just do a project on your land and not have the other agencies have any projects being undertaken on their land. So it has to be a true collaborative partnership to protect the forest for the future.
My name is Todd Haynes. I'm the district forester for the Bernalillo district with New Mexico State Forestry. We all contribute, we all coordinate, and try to get a project done across all boundaries. After all, fire doesn't know boundaries, wildlife doesn't know boundaries, it's only the people that know the boundaries, so we have to keep working on that to make sure that it's seamless.
BLM lands are scattered throughout this state. The western United States has a lot of Bureau of Land Management lands, New Mexico being one of them. But the nature of that is that we're intermixed with every other ownership. I'm Teresa Rigby. I'm a fire mitigation education specialist for the Bureau of Land Management in New Mexico. The strength is in working with our partners and those adjacent landscapes. The Learning Network is a place for neighbors to connect with neighbors and for those communities to connect with the larger entities, the counties, the state. It's the place where you can go to find people that have been through similar experiences as you have. Really, the network is about building those relationships, finding who you can connect with. Everyone who takes part in the Fire Adapted New Mexico Learning Network has an opportunity to not only learn from others who are doing much of the same thing or are faced with much of the same concerns, whether they realize it or not. We all deal with the same issues, and we just need to find those solutions together.